Across the Seven Kingdoms and beyond the Narrow Sea,
let's review Game of Thrones.
All right, welcome back to the Board Game Closet. My name's Jimmy.
I'm Rod.
Today we're going to review A Game of Thrones, the card game. At the end of this review, we're going to give it a rating. Should you buy it, play it, or hate it? Now, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, we want to encourage you to do that right now. Click the button, and every Thursday we're going to be dropping a new video, so make sure you check back for that. So, Rod, let's talk about the components in this game.
All right, so this is Game of Thrones. Okay, Game of Thrones is a card game. So what are we looking at? We're looking at the cards.
Cards.
Okay, so with the cards themselves is the artwork. You know, that's really what it comes down to for here. We have some tokens, which are fine. They're just, you know,
cardboard
and gold and so stuff, and they're going to hold up just fine. The artwork is the thing that makes the game, and it does keep you in that Game of Thrones feel, at least for how much I know. I've never watched the series or anything. I think I've read one of the books. That was about it. But the all in all, it just has does have a very, very good feel, and I think with all the extra flavor text that's in each one of the cards and stuff, it keeps you pulled into that world. So all in all, I think the cards are fantastic.
So two guys that have never even seen the show are reviewing the game. I've never seen it.
I know. That's all right.
I didn't realize you had seen it. That's funny.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so rules on how to play this game. There are some rules, right?
Yeah.
There's a little bit of a learning curve to this one, but they give you, Fantasy Flight is good about this, they give you a learning to play guide, and then they give you a rules reference guide. So that's what, and the rules reference is the thicker of the two. But basically, if you understand the phases of this game, you can get into it. Like with any card game like this, you're going to be... You got to figure out what all of these strategies are. So learning to play might not necessarily be learning to play as much as it is, let me learn all of these factions and the way to play them. So that might be it. So this is definitely a game that rewards you for multiple plays, coming back to it a lot, learning the factions and combos. That might be the harder part of learning it.
Right. And the game does a good job because it has your... because you have the cards themselves that represent the people, and you have locations, and then you have the events, and so on. So they kind of keep you maintained in that world, because you'll pull out some great character from the show or from the books, and then you'll turn around and have an event happening, and it does a very good job of kind of keeping you in that realm.
All right, so let's give you a basic overview of how the game plays so you can figure out if this is something that works for you and your gaming group. So at the beginning, each person is going to take a house or a faction, and you get cards that come with that. And then there's basically about 8 phases to this game. The first thing that you're going to do is you're going to pull from your plot deck. And so this is kind of a cool thing that you're going to do, where this tells you a number of things. So it's going to give you a special ability that you have for that round, and this could be good or bad. This could be something that hinders you this round, but it gives you a lot of money, or it could be something that really does something great for you, but maybe you don't get a lot of money for that. So on the card, it's going to tell you your hand size and how much money you get for that round, and so you're going to play that secretly. Now, these plot cards can affect everybody at the table. It could be something like, you give me all your money this round, or you have to kneel down a character, or just all different kinds of
card
things.
Hand size,
all different things that you could do, or you can't play events this time, or things like that. And so everybody has their little card, set off to the side. And then you're going to take, depending on how much money you have to spend that round, you are going to be picking cards to play out of your hand, right? And so there's a number of different kind of cards that you can get. You can get character cards, right? And these are the people that you're actually going to be using to do things in the game. And then you have attachments, which could be like a sword or a shield, something like that. And then you have locations that you can play. And then something that you hold on to play later are called events, right? And then you have to have money to be able to pay for these later on. Right. So you spend as much money as you want by placing characters, attachments, and locations down onto the board. And then based off of who goes first, then you go around the board and you take turns attacking people. You can attack by military strength, intrigue, or power. Right? And so those symbols are located on a card. So if you have a character that's out on the board, but they only have intrigue, then that's the only way that you could attack somebody with this person. If you only have military strength, then they can only attack with military strength. And you can only attack per symbol one time, right? So I couldn't continually attack you military, but I would say, okay, I'm going to use my military, this strength to attack Rod. And then Rod would have to look at his guys on the table and say, okay, who do I want to use to defend this person? And it's pretty simple. It just comes down to numbers, right? Then I would be able to say, okay, Rod attacked me with a 5, so I'm going to kneel down this guy, which means I turn him sideways and I can't use him now. Or I'm going to kneel this guy to try to beat him, or you know what, I'm going to let you beat me. And then if they are unopposed, they're going to get tokens, right? These tokens give you power in the game. And power is how you win the game. So if you get 15 of these tokens, then you win the game. And you're going to take turns using all of your characters and going through, and then it goes back and forth.
And you may kill characters. It may just be you losing your tokens. There's all these different things that can happen, how you play it. And again, that every deck has different things. I mean, maybe there's only a few cards that I've seen where they actually kind of go from one clan to another clan or whatever, one house to another house. But all in all, most of the cards are all different. So he may have like this great trump card that does A, B, and C. Well, you'll have one that does E, F, G, and then they'll have one, so it goes back. So there's a whole bunch of different ways to play this. You really need to know your deck to play the game and to play it right.
To play it well, yeah. Right. So after you use all of your cards, then you're going to kind of clean up the deal, right? So you've done all your challenges. Then you want to see who has dominance, and that's basically whoever has the most standing people left. Then they're going to get power, and then there's a taxation, which means you can only have so many cards in your hand, so much money, and then you start over again. So you draw back up to your hand size, depending on how much money you have off of your plot cards, and then you just do this whole thing over and over again until somebody gets 15 points. As soon as somebody gets 15 power, the game ends. They win. That's it.
Now, this game is funny. I think it lends itself to, if you've ever played the Lord of the Rings living card game, but this is competitive versus not being competitive.
Right, co-op.
Yeah. So that's a pretty neat factor to it, and also maybe a disadvantage to it is one of the things I like about the Lord of the Rings one is the fact that it is a co-op game. But this one right here, if you know your deck and you know what it can do, you can do some real damage.
One of my favorite things about the game are the plot cards because, like I said, they have abilities. They tell you how much money you're going to use, and they tell you turn order. Now, turn order is really interesting in this game because if you go first, you can attack anybody out there. But that also means that you are using people, right? So I'm having to kneel people down to use them. And now somebody later on in the turn order could say, hey, Rod's used all his guys. I'm just going to go after him unopposed and get power. Right. And so it's this cool kind of mechanic of do I want to go first? I want to go second because there's bonuses and negatives to both sides of that coin.
Sure.
All right, so at the end of our reviews, we like to give our games a rating. Should you buy it, play it, or hate it? Green means go buy this game and add it to your collection. White means maybe you wouldn't buy it, but you definitely play it. And then red means you wouldn't buy it and you wouldn't play it because you hate it. So, die out and reveal.
All right, it's whites.
2 whites. 2 whites. I'd play it.
Good thing Tim bought it.
Tim bought it. We play it. It works out.
All right. Let me go first?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. So I guess part of it is that probably, I guess the ownership of it, not knowing the characters well enough plays a factor. So, and that does play a factor. So I'll admit that. But all in all, I think that I've lately gotten into, and this may be just a personal thing, so I like co-op games, and this one is really cutthroat.
It is cutthroat.
It's fun, but it's very, very cutthroat, and it's pretty long. And that was probably the other factor. It seemed to be really long. So, like with this game, I'd always be just a casual gamer, and that doesn't lend well to winning because you got to really know your deck. And just seemed like that Tim knew his deck really, really well every time we played. So anyway, all in all, I just have to say that it is a white. I'll play it, and I'll play it. I'll play it a lot. But the thing is, I just at this point wouldn't go out and buy it. There's other games out there I'd rather have.
Yeah, the cutthroat is pretty brutal.
Right.
And then, like what you said, the knowledge base, being able to know what you've got. But I did think that there's some really interesting concepts in it, about kneeling your characters down and going unopposed, getting those power points. The back and forth can be adding to the length of it because you kind of get ahead and then everybody starts picking on you because you are getting ahead, that kind of a thing. But overall, this is a solid game. I like it. I like the plot cards. I like the abilities. I like the locations and the attachments, all that kind of stuff. I think the game is definitely there. I just don't think, kind of for some of the same reasons, I think I'm just not that into card games, I guess. And so for that reason, I wouldn't buy it, but I'd play it.
If you're a Game of Thrones fan, you enjoy the TV series, and you're a gamer, I would say this is a must-have. It definitely would be a great. It's just personally, it's a white, and I think that's kind of like where we're coming from on this one, is that we think it's a good game. It just doesn't pull us into it enough because we're just not that interested in the world itself. And like you said, it is a card game, and with living card games, I've found that you want to invest in them a little bit and buy the newest pack every month or so to keep yourself updated with it and everything. Mm-hmm. But if you are a big fan, go out and get it. You'll love it.
Get it.
Yeah.
All right, that's it. That's our review of A Game of Thrones. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, make sure you hit that button over there and do that. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up and share it. And as always,
support your local hobby shop.